Hello and welcome to New Moon Wellness. Today, come join me for day one of my peaceful yoga flow, where we get closer to our yoga journey together. I'm Char, and I'll be guiding you through this practice. So find a spot, grab your mat, and of course, let's get started. Let's start in a comfortable seated position, grounding ourselves and setting our intention for this practice today. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, filling your belly with air, and exhale fully, pushing it all the way out. Feel the weight of your body being supported by the earth beneath you. Allow your mind to settle and invite a sense of tranquility into your space, taking a few moments here to truly connect with your breath, your mind, and of course, your body. Exhale and drop your hands to your side. Let your left ear fall close to your left shoulder, using your hand as a guide, just getting a stretch in your neck. And center. Dropping your right ear to your right shoulder, getting a stretch on the other side of your neck. Center. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, letting your fingertips touch. And exhale, dropping your left forearm to the mat, reaching your right arm overhead. Inhale, center, and exhale, right forearm to the mat as your left arm extends overhead. Inhale, center, and let's take it again. Left forearm to mat, right fingertips reach. Inhale. And on the right side, right forearm drops down to the mat. Left fingertips reach overhead. And inhale. Twist into a spinal twist. Right hand comes to left knee as your left fingertips reach behind you, your gaze following, and to a spinal twist. Inhale and take it over to the right side. Left hand touches right knee. Other arm reaches back behind you, filling your breath in and out. Inhale, reaching up. Let's take a spinal twist once again on the left side. Inhale, sweep the arms up, letting the fingertips touch, and exhale, twisting on the right side for the final time. Inhale, center. Exhale, go ahead and place your hands on the mat, and I'm going to turn to the other side so you can see me. Legs still crossed. Go ahead and reach behind you, interlacing your fingers. Inhale, carve your nose up. Exhale, forward fold, reaching up with your arms overhead. Inhale, sweeping the body back up, carving the nose upward, keeping your fingertips laced together. Exhale, forward fold, reaching those hands up overhead. Inhale, coming back into a seated pose. Extend your feet out and let your toes look up to the ceiling. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. Exhale, drop it down into a forward bend, grabbing your toes or your calves or your thighs, whichever one feels comfortable for you today in this moment. And let's really stretch down, coming into a forward fold, our gaze between both of our legs. Let's surrender into this pose and just be comfortable with any sensations that come up in this moment. Taking time to be aware of it, but also meeting our body where it is at for today. Inhale, slowly come back up to a seated pose. Ground yourself, pushing in through your hands if you need to, and take your left foot beside your right knee. Inhale, sweeping up, twist over to your right side. Right elbow comes right outside that left knee, fingertips behind you, looking past your shoulder into a Lord of the Fishes pose. Breathe into this twist as you can feel a sense of detoxing and renewal for the inner organs. This is what Lord of the Fishes pose is good for. Exhale, unwind, and we're going to take it on the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, twisting over to your right side. Left elbow comes right outside of your right knee as your right fingertips come behind you. Let this pose energize your spine and help you lengthen it as you sit up forward even more. Exhale, release the pose. Stretching your knees, and let's go ahead and come into a cat-cow pose. Inhale, dropping the belly, carving the nose up. And exhale, doming the spine, chin to chest, into cat. Inhale, dropping the belly, carving the nose up, cat. Exhale, doming the spine, pushing in through the palms, cat. Inhale, dropping the belly, carving the nose upward into cow pose. And exhale, doming the spine again, chin to chest, into cat. Spread your knees as wide as the mat, and exhale, sink lower down to your feet as your fingertips reach overhead into a child's pose. Lowering your forehead onto the ground, feel yourself melting into your mat. Allow this pose to provide a sense of surrender and nurturing to the body, remembering your intentions from earlier. Begin to soften your breath and let go of any of the tension that you're holding in any points of the body. Call in your intention to the front of your mind and really relax the body. Inhale, hands coming together in a prayer pose while still in child's pose. Reach your hands over your head. Take a peek at me if you need to. Just to further that stretch in the forearms and in the fingers. Exhale, drop it down, and on your next breath in, look up and come into a tabletop position. Exhale, curl the toes under and stepping back into a downward facing dog. Breathe here for a moment. And inhale, look up and make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, bending at the knees, coming into a halfway lift. Exhale to a forward fold. And on the next breath in, reaching your arms up overhead, pointing back behind you, pushing your hips out forward. And exhale, raining it all down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come to mat. Step your right foot back. Drop that knee. Inhale, lift your fingers up overhead into a forward lunge. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper and lengthen your spine to push your fingers up overhead. Exhale, drop your hands down to the mat. And inhale, twisting on the left side, reaching your left hands up overhead above you, your gaze following those fingers. Exhale, rain it down, stepping it back, and let's take our chaturanga, coming into a plank pose. Exhale, pushing down. Inhale, upward facing dog, thighs off of the mat. And exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Taking a few moments here of full body breaths. Inhale, look up and make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bending at the knees, reaching slowly up overhead, bringing hands together, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, dropping your hands to the mat. Take your left leg this time, stepping it back, and inhale into a forward lunge. Your knee and your feet on the mat. Exhale, sink a bit deeper. Exhale, raining it down, grounding in through your left hand this time. Reach your right hands up towards the sky, your gaze following, and exhale, reaching down. Let's take our chaturanga, plank pose. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, upward dog, thighs off of the mat. Exhale, curl the toes, and come into downward facing dog. Take a breath here and make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, bending at the knees, rotate your wrist as you come up, reaching up overhead. And exhale, mountain pose. Go ahead and relax your shoulders a bit, move your knees, adjust yourself as needed. Whatever you need to do. Inhale, bending the knees, reaching your arms up overhead. Exhale, slowly rain it down into a deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Bending at the knees, flowing back and forth. Inhale, bending at the knees, rotating the wrist as you reach up overhead, slowly and intentionally. Fingertips come together and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, hands to mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to mat. Step that right leg back this time. Do not drop the knee. And let your left leg, your left foot, come close to the outside of the mat as it's parallel with both hands into a lizard pose, using your back foot to kind of propel you forward and backward. Go ahead and drop your knee or your foot if needed, but I'm going to go ahead and keep my knee up. Drop that knee and that foot, stepping both foot back into a tabletop for just a second as we come into our chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. Inhale, look up, and exhale, make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to mat, forward fold. Step that left foot back this time, dropping your knee if you need to, but keeping yourself strong. Go ahead and kick your right foot out to the side of the mat into a lizard pose. Use your left back foot to push you forward or backwards to further the stretch. Exhale, drop that knee, untuck the toes, coming back into tabletop, and let's take our chaturanga. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, upward facing dog, thighs lifting off of the mat. Exhale, curl the toes and come into downward facing dog. Inhale, look up and walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, coming into halfway lift. Reach your arms behind you and begin to pulse them up and down. Exhale, rain it down into forward fold. Inhale, bending at the knees, reaching your arms up overhead. And exhale, hands come down to your side. Rotate your shoulders down and back, bending your knees as you need. Bending at the knees. Inhale, reaching up overhead. Really reaching. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down to the mat. Step your right foot back. Don't drop that knee, but extend your left foot closer to the outside of the mat as we come back into a lizard pose. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper and feel your body come into this pose as comfortable as you can. Exhale, drop the knee, and let's take our chaturanga. Inhale, pushing up. Exhale, forehead comes to mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths in, pushing in through your hands. Look up and make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step your left foot back this time. Right foot comes out to the side of the mat, knees still bent, lizard pose. Go ahead and rock on your back foot back and forth to open up the hip area and release any of the tension. Exhale, sink deeper into the pose. Go ahead and drop your knee, stepping it back, plank pose, and let's take our chaturanga. Inhale, pushing up. Exhale, forehead comes to mat. Inhale, upward facing dog, lifting up, and exhale, curl the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, looking up. make your way to the front of the mat and go ahead and inhale, dropping that right foot back behind you. Knee comes to mat. Inhale, lifting up into a forward lunge, fingertips extending towards the sky. Exhale, sinking a bit deeper and letting it rain down. And we're going to take a twist on our left side, fingertips reaching up overhead, really feeling into the stretch. And exhale, raining it down. Pushing our left foot back, curl the toes under, and come into downward facing dog. Inhale, look up, and make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. This time, step that left leg back, dropping the knee. Inhale, reaching the arms up, forward fold. Exhale, sink deeper. Exhale, raining it down, grounding in through the left hand. Inhale, reaching the right hand up, fingertips pointed towards the sky. Exhale, dropping both foot back and coming into a deep stretch, child's pose, sinking your bottom back onto your feet, extending the fingertips overhead. Forehead drops down to mat. Taking a breath here. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your body to truly feel this pose. Yoga is a journey where we move from awareness to enlightenment. So let's enjoy each step of this journey. Inhale. Let's come into a seated position. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, prayer pose, remembering your intention in this moment and bringing it to the forefront of your mind. Taking a deep breath in, exhale, dropping your hands to the center of your lap, and we're going to take a side stretch. Right hand touches your left knee as your left arm extends out in front of you and behind you, your gaze following into a torso stretch. Exhale, coming back to center, and let's take it on the other side. Left hand to right knee as your right fingertips reach out in front of you. Exhale, extending that hand behind you, gaze following. And center. Let's take it one more time. Inhale, reaching that left arm out and back behind you. Exhale, centering yourself. Left hand to right knee, and inhale, reaching the right fingertips up and out behind you, deepening that stretch as much as you can, and exhale, center. I'm going to turn around so you can see me, but let's extend our feet out, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reaching up overhead, and exhale, forward fold, grabbing our toes, calves, our thighs, whatever feels comfortable in this moment. Bending at the knees if you need to. Exhale, let your body shrink a little bit more on that exhale. And inhale, filling the belly with air. Exhale, release. And on your next breath in, slowly start to come up. And we're going to grab the imaginary ball in front of us and exhale, slowly come while still grabbing that ball into a lying down position. Let your hands come to rest, your feet getting comfortable, and inhale, grabbing both of your knees to chest, giving yourself a big hug for today. Exhale, release your left leg and bring your right knee closer to your chest. Exhale, letting both feet come out below you. And inhale, reaching both knees up to the chest. Exhale, this time dropping the right foot and keeping that left knee close to your chest. Exhale, release the left knee and come up to a full body stretch, really stretching, lifting your hands up overhead, pushing through your toes, pointing them, and exhale, release it all, coming into our final pose, corpse pose. Let's breathe into this moment where our journey truly begins. Inhale deeply, filling the belly with air. And exhale, releasing, pushing it all out. Taking these breaths, the inhale and the exhale, and connecting with our breath, allowing our body to sink into our mat and our mind to focus on the intention that we set earlier on the mat today. Take a few moments for yourself in this corpse pose. Let's slowly start to bring awareness back into our mind, into our body, by first bringing awareness to our feet, our toes, our legs and hips, our belly and back, our chest and arms, our fingers, our shoulders and neck, our mouth and nose, and slowly turn into a fetal position, resting your head on your arm in this last little bit of peace before we come into the real world. And slowly begin to push up into a seated position. Inhale, reaching up overhead, hands together, and exhale, prayer pose. Thank you so much for joining me here today on day 1 of a yoga flow for inner peace. To support my channel, please subscribe, like the video, and give me a follow on my Instagram at char.newmoon. You can also check out my website at newmoonkc.com. Take care and peace.